love, so today we're going to do a video all about glitters and eye toppers. I have an obsession with glitter top coats, glitter, everything. I have had many requests to do videos on each of these separately. I do have one on the Supernova shadows from Colorpop individually, and I'll leave it linked down below. But I kind of wanted to just touch base on like all of the glitters I've been using, all of the glitters I've been loving. And I have found one that is like the closest dupe to the Stila. This is so loved. It's been living in my makeup caddy like for forever since I got it. My most loved like Stila Glitter and Glow shadows, which are like $24 a piece. So I have found one that's a little bit better of a deal, almost half price. So we're just gonna jump in. I'm gonna show you some of my favorites, my least favorites, tell you what I love, what I don't love, what I think is worth your money, stuff like that. All right, so before we get into it, please subscribe if you have not already. I upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday here on my channel. Be sure to hit that little notification bell so you get notified every time I upload. All right, let's get into it. All right, so obviously my all-time favorite of the Stila Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows. I have, let's see, 7 right here. I don't know if this is all of them. I just kind of grabbed what I had in my glitter drawer. I've been organizing makeup, doing declutters and stuff like that. So I just wanted to kind of show you these. These are not all of my glitters. These are just the ones I wanted to touch base on, talk about, you guys have been asking about, or I'm excited about and want to share with you. So my go-to, like most worn one is the Diamond Dust. You can see how torn up this thing is. So we'll start with Diamond Dust. This is my absolute favorite. I'm gonna swatch a few of these ones because I feel like they are kind of the ones to live up to. They're the ones to beat. Smoky Storm is absolutely beautiful too. This one's more of like a bronzy. So Diamond Dust and Smoky Storm right there. And then I have like a duochrome one, which isn't quite as intense, but it's really pretty at Sunset Cove. This one's more of like a iridescent duochrome shadow. And then I will swatch this one, which is Next to Note, I think. This one is Rose Gold Retro, that bottom one, so pretty. I'm gonna put Kitten Karma at the top. Kitten Karma and Rose Gold Retro are so close. I don't know why I felt like I needed both, but I did. So I also have the gold one. I don't know where it's at, but life happens. So there are all of my Stila ones that I have right here. So I feel like these ones are like the most intense, the ones to beat. So those are kind of like my go-to, my favorite. If I have the money to spend on them, I will. There's so many new ones and there's so many that I literally want them all. I want them all. That's not necessary, especially with all this glitter that I have. Like, I'm never going to go through all of them. They're just so easy to apply. You just put the tiniest bit on. I love using them all over my lid, on my inner corner, on my lower lash line. They're so reflective, so beautiful, so glittery. There's no fallout. The applicator's great. I love to use just the applicator to put on my lid. Sometimes I will put it on the back of my hand and use a flat shader brush. They're just wonderful. So let's talk about something I didn't love. So these guys are the BH Cosmetics ones, the highlights. Like, they're not terrible, don't get me wrong. What I love about the Stila ones is you can put them on top of like your lid, on top of other shadow, and it's not going, you're not going to notice like it picking up the shadow. I feel like with these, whether you use the applicator, whether you put them on the back of your hand, like you really have to work with them. I'll swatch a couple of them for you. They're pretty, don't get me wrong. If you have the patience to work with them, go for it. They're not as glittery as the Stila ones. They're more of like a liquid eyeshadow. This silver one's probably the most pigmented and most intense. You can see it up there, but it's not glittery. It's just like, it's just a topper. So I love the packaging. This one, again, is probably my favorite out of them, which it's the most pigmented, so it doesn't feel like the most translucent. Like, you know, when something doesn't have a lot of pigment and it's a liquid, it's going to kind of pick up and show how it's disturbing the shadow underneath. BFF. So the silver one is not bad at all. If you're going to get one, honestly, if you use these like on the inner corner of your lower lash line, they work great for that because there's not, I don't know what it is about putting it on my lid. It just, I wanted to love them so much. I was so excited about this yellow shade. And what sucks is like they swatch on your hand like pretty. Like they look pretty when you swatch them on your hand. And they look like they're going to really be beautiful, but they just, I don't know. There's the yellow one. Like, see, it's not as intense. Luna. It's not as intense, obviously, as that silver. And this one's got glitter in it, but again, they're not the same effect. I would say these are closer to like the duochrome ones, like that Sunset Cove one. That's the closest kind of thing you're going to get from these. Again, they're not going to be as glittery as the Stila ones or some of the other ones I'm going to talk about. This one I really wanted to love as well. It's kind of the blue-based brown. This one is Psych. Like, again, when you swatch these, they look so pretty. Like, look how pretty that looks. But it's just, every time the camera shakes, it's my cats. Just, you know, it's just not as, I want to love these. Maybe I'll keep trying them, but I just, again, from my first impression, I've tried to use them a few times, and it's just, you can get a really pretty look, but you're gonna have to work for it. I think that's enough on those. I'm gonna move on to the next one. This one is pretty similar to the highlights, but I do like the results a little bit more. These are the holographic 3D eye toppers from Jcat. Again, it's like pretty much the exact packaging. They're a little bit thicker of a formula, so even though they are a top coat, and they specify that they're a top coat, they're not exactly a shadow. It's right here. I just feel like when you put these on, they disturb your shadow underneath less. You get a little more payoff. Given I've only tried a couple of them, I could only find one. I'm sorry. This is the Unihype, I think. And it's like a purpley shade. Obviously, it's really pretty. So this one I think is about the same price as the BH Cosmetics ones. But I am a fan of these. If you're thinking about getting the BH Cosmetics ones, I almost feel like you should try these ones. I love BH Cosmetics, and I have full faith that they will come out with something a little bit better. I just feel like it's just too much work. I don't know, it's just too much work. I have a little more high-end one. This is the Lime Crime Diamond Dew. I've only used it on my lid like once, but it was really pretty. Which one is this? This one is Pixie. I love an iridescent like white shimmer. It's like my favorite. This one's a little bit pinky. This one is definitely just the top coat, more of a wash of glitter. It's at the bottom right here. Definitely sheer, but you do see the glitter. So it's definitely a how many times can I say definitely, definitely, definitely? It's a sheer look. If you're gonna spend this much money though, I almost feel like, unless you just want kind of an iridescent duochrome layer on top of something else, then I mean, these are really pretty, but you can see the amount of glitter is like 10 to 1 in those. I don't know if you can see that. There's glitter in these. I thought this was going to be like super glittery. I always have to try it. If a brand has a top coat, like a liquid glitter, I like always want to try it. So I like this, but it's a much more subtle. So if you're looking for something more subtle and you don't want like bam glitter in your face, then this is perfect for you. I want to talk about this one. This is probably the most affordable one in the bunch. I'm not sure how much this one is off the top of my head, but I think it's like $4 or $6. These are another one that are kind of sheer. I know I have another shade somewhere. I just grabbed one to show you guys. This is Golden Glitz. It comes in this little like squeezy packaging. When I first saw this, I thought maybe it was like a lip gloss, but it's actually a topper. So I mean, you can, it just says Pop of Glitter Makeup Transformer Gel, so you can use it as like pretty much anything anywhere. I was actually really impressed on how this dried on the back of my hand when I swatched it. Again, it's a more subtle, it's down here, put some on there. It's definitely, I would put it on the same wavelength of subtle as the Lime Crime ones, but think about the price difference there. So it gives you a sheer wash of color and there's glitter in there. Once it dries, you really see the glitter. So I'll show you again in a minute and update you on that. But for the price, these are really cool in the way that they do dry. I think that you would have to sit there for a few minutes and let your eyelids dry. But if you're cool with that for just spending so much less money on a topper, this one is great. I definitely think it's so cool that they came out with these. Way to go, e.l.f., you guys. I have these two little guys from Revolution. We're going to talk about some Revolution right now. These are like their little glitter paste. So they're kind of the same idea, but they're in a little tub. These ones, when you swatch them and they dry, they swatch as glittery, at least that I remember, as these ones from Stila. The only thing is like they're in a pot, so they're not as convenient. They are only like $7, I believe, from the Revolution Beauty website. So I'm gonna have to swatch them with my fingertip. But you can see it's right there. Look at that. I do think that the glitter is a little chunkier. The glitter is definitely chunkier. So that is something to keep in mind as well. I think they're eye safe. I don't know. I don't know about the actual fallout. I don't feel like the actual fallout is as bad, but if you were to touch your eye, I do feel like the glitter falls off easier once these are dry from these than they do from the Stila. But again, just don't touch your eyes. Like this one has smaller particles of glitter. Hopefully you can see this. So these are smaller than the gold one. The gold one just has bigger, chunkier glitter, but that silver one, look at how pretty those are. So yeah, these are going to be your closest look on the lid, I find anyway, to the Stila ones. Besides, there's one more that's really good that I'll show you in a minute. These are really nice. Again, like $7. If you're willing to work with them, definitely worth it. Again, the fallout is a little greater on these if you touch it. If you leave it alone, I don't seem to notice really fallout because I've used it as like a glitter liner. I've used it all over my lid, so I don't notice the fallout. But like I've noticed with swatching it on my hand, once it dries, if you rub your hand, like it's gone. So that's the only downfall of these. With that, I will talk a little bit about the pressed glitters from Revolution. I love these. There are so many good shades in here. This one is so fall. Did that just happen? Did that just happen? Oh my gosh. Okay, I caught it. It's good. Well, I'm gonna not hold that all the way up because I don't want to lose this glitter again. I guess I'm swatching this one because I touched it. The only thing about these is like they work much better with a glue. Definitely recommend these with a glue, but they are a good option. They're not as convenient, but they are really pretty. Like, look how pretty it is on my finger. That's gorgeous, but like swatching it, it's a little more difficult. But if you have a sticky base and you just tap it on, it works great. The result is beautiful, just as glittery as the Stila ones. It's just a little more work. But these palettes are great. I think they were like, what, 10 bucks, 15, 12? I don't know, between 10 and 15. And for a glitter palette, I am loving, loving, loving these. So I think this one was Midas Touch. I have glitter all over me because I dropped that pan in my lap. I'm just gonna accept it. Glitter for life, girl. Abracadabra. This one's a little more fun colors in here. So if that's what you're looking for, this is beautiful. The last one is Hot Pursuit, which is this red one. This packaging though, super points for packaging. This one's got a lot of reds and berries, which is also really pretty for fall or any time of year. I am ready. Oh, it's pretty. I feel like we should do a look with this palette soon. Let me know down below if you want to see that. Now let's get on to a couple more that I really do like. I normally don't really think about using glitter liners, but honestly, the Stila Glitter and Glow eyeshadows are pretty much glitter liners. I've been using this Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy glitter and just like popping a tiny bit on. I might actually pop just a little bit right here. It has such a fine brush. The only thing is I feel like the Urban Decay formula sometimes will irritate my eyes more than other formulas. But once it dries, it's really pretty, and it doesn't irritate it enough that like I wouldn't use it. It's just like while it's drying, if I can tell there's something under my eye. So any glitter liner, so many brands have them. NYX have them. BH Cosmetics did have them. I didn't see them on their site anymore, which sucks because I really do love the BH Cosmetics glitter liners. But so many brands have these nowadays, and you can get the same exact results by using these. Just put on your shadow and then just tap this on the lid like you would the Stila one. I don't know why I never really thought about that in the beginning, but now I've been doing it so much more. But yeah, so any of them, I mean, this is 20 bucks, so you might as well get a Stila one if that's what you really want. But I do like the idea of these because they're much easier to use as a liner, use it under your lash line, anything like that. So these are great. I just wanted to mention these because I feel like we're always looking for toppers and we're not really thinking about glitter liners. I'm sure a ton of you are, and I just sound stupid right now, but it's just something that I didn't really put together. Let's see, we have a few more to talk about. I'm gonna talk about the Milani ones. I feel like these were limited edition, so they're hard to find. Last I checked, there were a couple still on the Ulta website. I do really like these for the price. You really can't beat it. This is probably the second closest dupe to the Stila ones that I've found that are cheaper. I mean, there's obviously ones like the Urban Decay. This glitter liner is great, but it's about the same price, so it's not, I mean, save yourself $4. That's cool. But I really like the Hypnotic Lights. I really hope they come out with more, but I feel like these are a combination of the BH Cosmetics ones and the Stila ones. Like if you, because they have a good amount of pigment to most of them, but they are super glittery. So they're like a nice in between. As you can see, they're not as glittery as the Stila ones, but they do, this looks a lot like the Jcat one. And here are the BH Cosmetics ones. Down here is that e.l.f. one, which is quite subtle, but it's about the same amount of subtle as the Lime Crime one. So I feel like the Lime Crime one is just too subtle for me. I like a bold everything, but these are really pretty. This one is Beaming Light. This one's really gorgeous. Luster Light. Look at that. If you can get them, I really do like these. The applicator is a lot like the Stila one too, so they're easy to apply. Ooh, this one's really pretty, this blue. I really wanted the blue one from Stila, but I decided since I have this one, I don't really have to get it. But this one is a little more subtle as well. So these ones have a sheer wash of color. They're really pretty though. If you can get your hands on these, I say at least try them because again, they are a really great topper. These ones do pick up a little bit of the shadow, but not but not as much as the BH Cosmetics ones for me, at least personally. All right, we're gonna talk about the Colourpop ones a little bit. They have so many shades. They're coming out with new ones. They have both some that look like glitter top coats and some that look like liquid shadows. Again, I will link the video down below where I swatch all the ones that I have. We're gonna talk about these a little bit. This one's probably one of my absolute favorite. This is Lucky Penny. These do lift up your shadow. So these ones, again, are a little hard to work with. They're not near as hard as the BH Cosmetics ones, but you might need to work a little more with them. But the payoff, when you get them on and like the reflection of these, they're just a little bit chunky. And like you have to dip in, you have to really mix around the product. I feel like the formula on the more glittery ones is just a little bit chunkier. It's too thick. I feel like if they made it a little thinner, it would be better. But maybe they just had to. Look at that pigment though. Look how bold that is. I think the Colourpop ones are like $7. So a lot of these are iridescent. Some are much more duochrome, like you can see how duochrome this one is. Again, if you want swatches of all of them, check out that video that I will link down below. But I wanted to also show you this guy because I really like this one. It's Mothership. The original ones that launched were much more like liquid shadows, and the newer ones were more like glitter top coats. For these two, I would recommend putting some sort of base underneath because while that's got a lot of pigment, it still is a top coat. You still want some sort of base underneath it. Unless you just kind of want a sheer look to your glitter. It's Prelude. I don't know if they still have glitter, but it was like one of their lip glosses. Liquid lipsticks, metallic. Okay, so we're getting on to the last one. This is the newest formula that I have tried, and I have fallen absolutely in love with them. These are the Pixie by Petra. So again, these are about $15. So they are pricier for a drugstore option, but they are so worth it. This is the closest I have found to the Stila ones. I've tried almost every single shade on my lid. I did a live where I used the bronzy one, which I think was Bare Brilliance, I think is the one I used, and I like fell in love with it. The whole time I was like trying to talk to you guys, my lid would like catch the light and I was like, why is this so pretty? Crystalline is like the white kind of iridescent one. I think I might put it on my inner corner so you guys can really see it in action. It's just kind of like iridescent white. So these again, like there's just so much glitter in there. See it right here, like look at that reflection. And I feel like it's smoother in a way than even the Stila ones. I feel like the Stila ones are a little more chunky glitter, as you can see over here. And these are just so pretty. This one is the least pigmented because it's the lightest shade. It matches the highlight I have on my inner corner right now though, so we're just gonna go with it. Just gonna put it in there. I don't know if you'll be able to tell a big difference, but I'm just layering all the glitter on. So I really love this one because I love popping it in my inner corner. I love popping it over any shade. I did a yellow look the other day kind of like this, but did yellow all over the lid. And I popped this on and I loved it. Loved it. I'm going to swatch all of these for you just because I kind of feel like they're my favorites right now. And I want to share them with you. This is a gold. This one looks a lot like the, I can't even remember what the gold one is from Stila. I love it. I just don't know where I put it. Oh, it's right down here. Look how pretty that is. That's definitely got the same amount of glitter in it as these Stila ones up here. And I really like the applicator. It's got a little, I guess it's a doe foot. It doesn't really look like a doe foot, but I don't, whatever. You guys know what I'm saying. I feel like I over-explain things sometimes. So I'm just like, just look at it. You guys know what it is. Passion Light. This one I think is the darkest one. Pretty that is. The two deeper shades in this collection of fairy lights, is that what they're called? Yeah, liquid fairy lights. The two deeper ones, they have a lot of pigment behind them. So I feel like you don't even need to put anything underneath it, like a shadow underneath it. Like you can just go right in with it. So this one is Bare Brilliance. It's probably my second favorite, if not my favorite. I feel like this looks a lot like Bronzed Belle from Stila. So it's right down here. See that guy right there. Right there. So pretty. And this one all over the lid, I feel like you don't even need to put anything underneath it. I think I just put it over a bronzy shadow. Rose Gold. So let's see how close it is to, so I swatched it in two places because I wanted to swatch it next to the Rose Gold from Stila. So it is really close. It's not exact, but if you want a rose gold glitter, these are really pretty. This one I feel like is a little more emphasis on the liquid shadow with glitter in it. My two favorite from Pixie are Bare Brilliance one and then Crystalline. So these two, this one's like the iridescent white one, and then this one is the bronzy one. So these two are my favorites that I have tried of the Pixie ones. All right, love. So here's one more look at all of those swatches. Again, we have the Stila ones, we've got the BH, we've got the Jcat, the Colorpop. We've tried so many. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope this helps you with all of your glitter and top coat needs. All right, love. So let me know your thoughts down below. If there's some that I did not talk about that you love, please let me know down in the comments below. I'm always looking for new glitter top coats. I just love them. There's so many more I could talk about. There's so many more glitters I could talk about. Like, there's a lot of really good options here. But of course, if you're willing to spend the money, the Stila ones are probably still my favorite. But I really do like the Pixie ones. And I do feel like I'm just obsessed with this Bare Brilliance one right now. I just feel like it's the prettiest, most reflective glitter that I've tried in a long time. And it's just so pretty for like a bronzy, smoky, glittery eye. Obsessed with this guy. I actually think I like this one more than Bronze Belle from Stila. But anyway, I could ramble about glitter for forever. I think that's everything. Again, let me know if you guys enjoyed this video by giving it a thumbs up, and let me know down below in the comments what your favorite glitters are. I think that's everything. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not already, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Not as much as the BHs. I feel like the product on some of the... All right.